Indie Music Live episode. What episode is this? Anyway, I lost track. No, I'm kidding. I didn't lose track. I was going to do a funny adding joke, but can you hear Rob tonight? Rob, are you being heard tonight? Okay. Rob had a funny comment. Anyway, 94. It's episode 94. I'm JoeJoeKeys, and I'm sitting here with a former Hooters lady. No, it's not Dave. It's actually Ridley Victoria, and I'm also sitting here with Dave Werba. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Great. Yeah, I'm feeling Hooterific.
Dave worked at Hooters for a while too, but he did the dishes.
Just like a week. No, I was actually a waiter. I was the first male waitress, and I actually wore the orange shorts. Had this huge bulge.
Didn't they have male Hooters waiters?
Yeah, I was the case study, and then it didn't work out, so they cut it off.
Well, I wonder, like, is that like, you know, is that really, could that be a thing? Like, they're letting girls into Boy Scouts now and all that stuff, you know? I'm not judging, I'm just saying. Yeah. But, you know, what if I wanted to be a Hooters girl? Is that allowed? I mean, could I take somebody to court for that and, you know, become a Hooters girl? Of course, then I have to work.
It's 2017. It's definitely allowed.
All right. Well, that's my next job then, Hooters. Sweet. So Ridley, you're here. We're gonna listen to one of your songs later, but you're just kind of hanging out tonight. You've been we like you so much, we wanted to have you as recurring guests. So, and yeah, that's cool.
It's like invasion of the fucking fruit flies here.
Invasion of the fruit flies.
Ridley has too many bananas in her house, so she has fruit flies. No, we're talking to Ridley, and she's you know, a cool chick to hang out with. As we mentioned last time she was on the show, she was she was actually the first featured artist of 2016. So we've known her for a while. She's been coming out with music nonstop, and she's just here to inject some opinions. And we're gonna get, you know, deeper with Dave and talk to her about "Slow Down," her new single, and all that. She's got a big move coming up, and yeah. So welcome everybody. I haven't even got a chance to look to see who is here yet, but let's see. Calamari's here, and some other people. I can't really. My phone's kind of freezing up. Calamari, happy birthday. I did see that, actually. I saw Facebook let me know. What would I do without Facebook? Yeah, what would I do without Rob? Well, I can't hear Rob, so. All right, so let's listen to the first song of the night. Dave, why don't you tell me how to say this last name, since you know how good I am at pronouncing names. I'm going to say Swierk.
Yeah, Swierk. Yeah, I don't think it's anything funky.
Okay, cool. Kacie Swierk with her song Bonfire Blues. Share this video out, and we'll see you in a few.
I've got the bonfire blues stirring up inside. I've got the bonfire blues, and the flames run deep. Bonfire blues, heated far from my heart. I've got the bonfire blues, and it's melting me apart. It was one day, it was one time. No, keep on counting up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, slowly fading. Disappear into the end of time. Stop. I've had the bonfire blues for a long time now. It's not until the moment you ask me how I'm doing that I'll show it. I've had the bonfire blues for a long time now.
Kacie Swierk, Indie Music Live. That was her song with Bonfire Blues. I like pretty much all the music tonight. I'm a big fan of, and I would probably listen to it on a regular basis. And this is one of them. It's real basic. Start off with what really hit me was the horns that came in towards the end, and we only used 2-minute samples, so they keep going for a while, and that was a great tune. Calamari says great melody, and he's the birthday boy, so he would be correct. So let's see. Ridley, I'm interested. What are your thoughts on this?
So this song was kind of like underwhelming to me, to be honest. I liked it.
Speak freely, please.
I thought it was cool. The instrumentals of the song caught me more than the vocals did, for sure. Nothing against Kacie's vocals. I just feel like she kind of sounds like a lot of indie folk poppy singers that are out right now. So that kind of like turned me off a little tiny bit. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty solid track.
And Hooters girl, I mean Dave.
I am I'm wearing orange shorts actually right now. But all right, I'll show you guys. Oh, forget it. It's, let me see here. Kind of a Jack Johnson feel in the beginning, kind of stripped down, which is cool. And I mean, it's one of like 25 songs that made the show this month out of like 350. So something to be proud of. It's also something to be proud of that you just recorded the song just like with all the others. So it's a little glory to bask in just that in itself. But yeah, it was, I'm looking for more here. It's just kind of, it's young to me. It's like she has a nice voice. It's a nice song. Nothing in the instrumentation just like jumped out to me where I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's different. It was just like real in the box, this tune. Horns, it's just like, that's the tip of the iceberg. I want to hear some more experimentation. So Kacie, that's what I'm saying to you. It's like throw some new instruments in there, like step outside.
I remember
when on the horizons, I want to see more from this. It's just like really simple. I want to see this kind of branch off into new things.
Literally what I wrote down after I listened to this. That's pretty much everything you said was what I wrote down, because I wrote down notes for every song, and I pretty much said word for word what you just said, David.
Wait a minute. Did you guys work at Hooters together? No.
Well, it's the Hooters
connection.
How did
you know?
I mean, it's the same brain.
Do you remember? Do you ever listen to Ani DeFranco? Anybody?
Sure.
She started integrating and adding more horns and stuff like that in her music, and it really took a whole different turn. So there's all kinds of stuff she can be doing with that. But like you said, Dave, this is one of the songs out of hundreds of submissions that we get. I mean, we literally do get hundreds of submissions every single month, and we have to put it down into about, I don't know, like 25, 30 songs, in 30 days or, over four shows a month. So speaking of which, this is where we normally do indie music news, but there's really no news to be had. So we're going to move on. The only thing that we can really talk about is the Harvey Weinstein thing. And I think that's kind of been overtalked. So
no.
Anyway, we don't do that here. We don't do that here. Arson Daly with their song, I can't remember if it's just a guy or a band, but we're going to find out. It's Arson Daly. I think it's a band with their song, Tell Me. Share this video out. Get all your friends in here and tell them this is the cool place to be on Tuesday nights, Indie Music Live. Let us know what you think. Indie Music Live, Arson Daily with their song Tell Me. This is episode 94. We are on our way to 100, and it's going to keep getting better and better. And I thank you so much for always hanging out with us. Let me know that you're here in the comments. There's a couple people here on the replay too. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got Rob on the driver's seat, if you will. He's raising the roof, or I don't know, doing something.
And he's shirtless. He's shirtless again tonight.
Oh man, Juan just says hello, and I say hello back. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Arson Daily. We're going to be listening to Ridley Victoria's new song coming up here in just a second. Let's go around the table and talk about Arson Daily. This guy, do you remember Dave? And Paul Major is here. Good to see you too, my friend. Do you remember Dave? And Steve Hubert is here. All these people are saying hello. Dave, do you remember the Get By?
Ooh.
Come on, man. That's on your website.
That's a Netflix show, isn't it? Or
no, it was one of our featured artists back like a year ago.
All right.
There's like kind of remember the trombone player that played drums at the same time? Come on.
What?
Help me out here.
I'm a little foggy on that one, brother.
Well, they're called the Get By, and it was actually one of the episodes, a couple episodes before we started working with Rob, and the show was a lot better put together. So I would do the featured artists on the side. Maybe that's why I remember them more. But anyway, this band reminds me of them a little bit, but better. Like there's no horns or anything, and it's a completely different vibe. But it's a trio. It's a trio, and they look like a bunch of like hippie dudes, that play a jam band shows in their van in the picture that was in the song card as we listen to the songs. And I don't know, I like the melodies a lot. I think that the instruments maybe could be a little more mixed better. The acoustic guitar was a little thin for me, but
yeah, I think the story here, this is like early Beatles, man.
There you go.
As a reference. This is like early 60s, like even late 50s type of, sound here, maybe a touch of Beach Boys even at times.
That's what I compared them to, as the Beach Boys.
Like, hey, can I finish here? Don't steal my points. Gee, invasion of the fly snatchers right now. All right. No, these early Beatles that's the story here. It's like the voice, the song, just the overall sound. It's like that's what grabs me about this. When you break it down into the instruments, yeah, it's kind of underwhelming, like Ridley likes to say, but it was a good catchy tune, and it's it's I don't know, it's just another one of those retro bands that kind of brings it into modern and makes it work. But is that the future of this band? Is that like, are they just going to do every single song that kind of sound like early Beatles, or like, is that their niche? That's kind of what I'm left wondering.
Well, it is just a 2-minute sample, so that's a lot of good questions.
Yeah.
I really thought exactly what you thought, I guess. Maybe I should.
No. I love the guy's voice. It was super cool. It's like they got the old style reverb that you hear even in like Led Zeppelin and stuff. So they like, that, I don't think that was an accident. I mean, I think they were kind of going for that.
I like the guy's voice a lot too.
I really like the voice. Yeah. That was a strength in this tune.
Do you have any extra thoughts other than exactly what Dave said, really?
Because we're the same person. No, I agree with the Beach Boys Beatles reference. I didn't like the mix, actually. That was the only thing that I really didn't like about this track. This was my favorite track out of the bunch that you picked, actually. Ooh. But yeah, the mix was a little off to me. The vocals are kind of like swallowed by the instrumentals. But I really like the kind of like retro vibe to it. I don't know, it was just kind of like a feel good, just made you smile kind of track. So I really
summary kind of track.
Yeah.
I kind of like had a vision of like driving down the road. It just sort of, hit me of driving down the road in the summer.
Yeah, in the 50s. You're driving around Route 66, 1958. So turn this on the radio. It's like, all right, cool. Nice jam.
So let's see. Stephen Hebert also said hello. Vincent Burkhardt is a new friend. He does a show, I believe, about music. Also, he's in Colorado. Layered Deep says we were checking out the show for new music for our radio station. That's awesome. Good to have you here. Melanie Weiser just walked in. Again, share this video out. Let your friends know you're watching it tonight. We're sitting here with Mr. David Hooters and Ridley Victoria.
Who's Melanie Weiser? You say that name, I keep forgetting who it is. Who is it?
Melanie Weiser. She was, I think, a blabber.
Oh, ex blabber. All right.
I think so. I think we're connected. I think she's
sounds familiar.
Like Vicky and all them. So
all right.
Anyway, you really need to remember more things, Dave.
I'm foggy tonight, man.
So it's probably all the fog machine shit you're doing over there. So anyway, I want to get to Ridley's song. Ridley, before we play your song, I'd kind of like you to just introduce it and you know, transition us into your brand new single. I think it's your newest one. You actually canceled your last appearance here to do the video, I think, right?
Horrible.
No.
Was it not for that song? It was for something else?
I was actually in somebody else's music video. It was Mick Jenkins' music video. I don't know if you know who that is.
Okay.
He's a popular Chicago artist. But
okay.
Rolling Stones, right?
What do you say?
He sang for the Rolling Stones.
No.
Slow down, Dave. We're talking about Slow Down.
Slow Down is indeed the last single I released to date. I've been going through a lot the past couple months, and this song was pretty much all of that into 3 minutes. So it's very personal. It's probably one of, if not the most personal track I've ever written in my entire life. So
whoa,
cool. I think it's probably one of the more unique ones to an original to you. So let's go ahead and listen to Slow Down, Ridley Victoria. We're going to come back and get deeper with Dave right after that. And everybody let us know what you think of the song. Again, share this out. Let us know you're here. Keep talking to us. We want to say hello and all that stuff back. Rob's getting ready to flip me off. So here's the song, Slow Down by Ridley Victoria.
It's been a long time coming, and it's time for you to learn the truth. 'Cause you've been sitting there wondering what the fuck am I supposed to do. You got tears up in your eyes while he touches my thighs. What a situation we made. You said that you would always love me, a promise that's way overdue. Slow down, isn't that what you think now? Slow down before you freak out. You the type to keep your enemies close. You the type to keep your issues on the low. He's the type of man who loses all control. You the type I wanna know. The infinite possibilities. Baby boy, you know I love you, and I know karma's coming for me. 'Cause every other night it's just the same place, same game, same rules. We both fools who treated you like shit, and that's it. I wouldn't dare to blame you if you were completely finished with me. So it's not what you think for you.
Deeper with Dave, deeper with Dave. That's what we're looking for.
Cool. That was it, huh? Deeper with Dave, deeper with Dave. Oh, yeah.
Sponsored by.
So it's it's not easy being sexy. I mean, it's something I struggle with myself, and obviously, obviously Ridley struggles with this as well.
What an intro.
I mean, it's not easy. You know, it's like it's almost too sexy. You gotta. It's hard to deal with sometimes. You know,
such a hardship.
All right. I'm not sure if you're ready for this tangent right now, but I believe the song is off the new album called Invasion of the Fruit Flies. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Excellent. Very good. All right. So I'm listening to this today, and this is all that was going on in my head was it's not about the music anymore with you.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, let's talk about it. It's, man, that's what I'm feeling with you right now. It's just like another really nice song. Yeah, let's talk about some other artists. I want to get your take. I want to hear your feedback on like the career of, let's start with Lady Gaga.
Okay.
What do you think about her?
I love Lady Gaga. I've always loved Lady Gaga. She's, especially when she first came out, I was like kind of obsessed.
Okay, all right, good. Especially when she first came out, when she was wearing meat dresses.
Yeah.
And like these giant hats and winning all these music awards and just like basically always a spectacle in public, fashion wise.
Taking the industry by storm in a crazy way.
And you dug that, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of like fed off it and you became a fan.
Yeah, I just thought she was like, I don't think she was being 100% herself, obviously, but I really dug the way she just like didn't really care. Like she just did what she needed to do and didn't really take shit from anybody.
All right. How about Marilyn Manson? Let's go right to him.
I don't know much about Marilyn Manson, so I can't really speak on him.
You know who he is, right? You've seen
him.
I
know who he is. But I pretty much know his name and that's it, to be honest with you.
All right. I mean, he was, pretty heavy, kind of goth, metal type of sound, had the crazy makeup and his shows were insane and just like theatrical and, all that stuff. And so like with these two artists, Marilyn Manson, there's a couple rare interviews where he kind of explained what was behind like his, the meaning of all the theatrics, I guess, in his career. And it was really about, he said it was mostly about creating a platform so that he can speak his truth and just his opinions about issues, which a lot of them had nothing to do with music. And that's, so his career was what he felt was the best way to reach that platform. And that doesn't mean like ignore the type of music he makes, but he achieved his goal in that sense. So all of like the bells and whistles outside of the music itself had a purpose, and it was to create a platform. It wasn't to create a song that won a Grammy. Like that was no part of his goal, So it was.
He just wanted to get his message across.
Yeah, which is not really that different from when you look at like Lady Gaga, because she was just over the top. I mean, it's like, what were her first hits? Let's Dance and Poker Face. Yeah. Like, does that expose like her true identity or something, like, and all the theatrics around it? Or is her true self what we see today, where it's all kind of stripped down and she's an actress and singing like, just kind of showing who she really is today. So it's almost when you look back, that wasn't really her. It was just kind of a front just to reach a platform, right?
I think it was a front in a certain way. Yeah. I feel like that was a different part of her also. Like, I feel like she was channeling like a very deep part of her that she always wanted to come out, and she finally had the platform to like allow it to come out. But I agree with you in the sense that the true Lady Gaga, or whatever her real name is, I forget, it's like Stephanie something. It came out like
Stephanie Smith, I think.
It came out like very recently, within the past like couple years. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
All right, so like looking at Lady Gaga today, when you look back, do you have any disrespect for the path that she took in her career?
No, not at all, to be honest with you. I feel like a lot of people have done that. One person that I don't really mesh with that well is Nicki Minaj, who also did the same thing. I'm not a Nicki Minaj fan, but they kind of go hand in hand as far as like the taking the world by storm with all the the oohs and ahs and spectacles and stuff like that, and then just stripping it down to reveal their true self. I think it's genius, actually. I think it's like a really smart plan.
All right, so what's your plan? Stephanie Germanata. All right, Stephanie Germanata is Lady Gaga's Rona. So, all right, this is the full circle. This is what I'm getting to. It's like, what's your story here? Because it's like, how at what point where do you just kind of sit back and it's like, well, I'm making great music, I'm putting it out there, I'm doing the work, I'm doing the shows, I'm not reaching the level that I want to. What's the next step? What's the next decision here? And it's like this is kind of like stream of consciousness today, just because this is the stuff that was popping in my head, because you're a really creative young woman. You know, it's like you got a lot of skill. You're very sharp, really intelligent, and really talented. And it's like, I see you can continue to do this for like 20 years, keep releasing really nice songs and make a living. Or it's like, man, I wonder if you've thought about like really taking a major leap here. And to do that, you have to create a unique story and do something different that no one else is doing. And just, you know, let your really like true core of creativity come out, and not just kind of scratch the surface of it. Like, do something major, like really different, and your music will be brought along the way. You must have thought about this, you know? Yeah,
I've actually been thinking about it a lot recently, because like I said, I went through a major life change a couple months ago. And it was negative in some ways, but it was positive in other ways, because it taught me a lot and it influenced my art a lot. And I feel like it's like a new platform for me to be able to step onto and use that in my creativity. So I definitely have some things like cooking up in my head. I haven't really like specifically like targeted what those things are yet, but I do know that something like crazy is about to come out of me.
Yeah, like, I want to see it. That's what I want to. That's kind of where I'm at right now. It's like, it's because I know you have it inside of you, and it's like figuring out what that is, and maybe it's in the performance when you do shows. I honestly think I'm about to create like an entirely new genre, to be honest. All right, like, now we're talking. See, like this is where I'm going. I don't think, I mean, it'll still have like remnants of my signature sound, but like at the same time, it's going to be something that's like, that has never been touched before, because it's never been created before. Kind of like, I'm not comparing myself to this person, but like, you know, what Michael Jackson did. Michael Jackson pretty much like started pop, if we're being honest. So like something like that, where it's like, just break something out of the box that's never been seen before, and that you have no choice but to embrace, because it's just so different and like intriguing. So I guess that's my plan. So you're thinking like moving more closer to pop, or is that just an example? I mean, well, my album was pretty much pop with like a weird spin on it, but I don't know. I kind of want to do something more mellow, but not something that puts you to sleep per se, but something that's just very like artistic and vibey and wavy and just like makes you feel things. Mm-hmm. So. All right. I wanted to figure this out completely tonight. It's like I'm just thinking of the possibilities here. It's like, what is it like different, like making sure you're doing videos on your songs, you know, even though they're not like super high budget, at least doing them. Yeah, I have a video in the works, so that'll be out within the next couple months. All right, we're gonna figure this out very, very soon. I feel it. But yeah, I guess you're thinking of moving to Atlanta. You're gonna go to Indianapolis and, you know, hang out with the family for a while. So you want to talk about that? Yeah. So Chicago has been great
for the most part. It's been a super duper learning experience. Met a lot of people, connected with a lot of people, fell out with a lot of people. It's just been a lot of stuff. And it taught me a lot. I think these past 2 years I spent in Chicago was the most I've learned in my 23 years of existence. So that says a lot.
Musically, or just like life in general?
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay.
So with that being said, I think it's time to move on from Chicago. I think I've kind of hit a ceiling here, not necessarily saying that I'm like better than everybody else or nothing like that. It's just, I feel like I've done what I need to do here, and I'm ready to, flip the page to the new chapter in my life. So the best way to do that in my mind was to just try out another city.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to reinvent yourself. I mean, that's the exciting part of it. It's like you stay in Chicago, you can make the decision. It's like, well, I got to change in some way. I stay here and I just have to change. I have to like do something with my image, with my music or something.
Also,
and it's harder to do that where you're staying. But if you go to a new place, it's like it's like starting from scratch, and it's exciting in that sense.
Yeah, I also believe in like signs. So a lot of signs have been pointing me directly to Atlanta. I don't really know how to explain it, but like Atlanta keeps popping up in conversations. People keep going to Atlanta and playing my music down there, and they keep coming back with like opportunities for me in Atlanta. Like it's just
cool.
God is telling me to go to Atlanta right now. So that's where I'm going. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess.
All right, cool. So where can people find you online again? What are your handles?
So on every social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's Ridley the Poet, with no underscores or anything. And then SoundCloud. SoundCloud is just Ridley Victoria. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. All right. I guess we're not bringing Joe back. You probably want me to go to the next tune, right, Joe?
No.
No? No. I'm going to go to the next tune. Oh, Joe, you said no.
Normally, this is where it says big, bold letters. David, transition into next song. Yeah, that means I don't come in next. So.
All right. Well, let's.
It's supposed to be smooth.
Let's play. It's never smooth in this show, Joe. Someday, in about 3 years, it'll be perfectly smooth, the whole show. Gravity Circus, the song Imposter, I believe, is coming up right now. Thank you.
Close your eyes and I see that I lie. I'm the devil and you know, but you're showing the lies. Stitches to victory, you just try to survive and get out. Stitches, just wanna die. Are you still? Oh, I can tell. There's voices that dwell all the time. Your mind's getting numb from the poison I feed you all the time. Imposter. Is it just me? What do you feel? Could it be demons or angels I see? Are they waiting for us or just waiting for me? Am I playing right or doing wrong? It feels black and white while I do you harm. But you keep eating, you take it all. Stitches to victory, you just try and survive and get out. Stitches, just wanna die. Are you still? Oh, I can tell. There's voices that dwell all the time. Your mind's getting numb from the poison I feed you all the time. Oh, I can tell. There's voices that dwell all the time. Your eyes closing more as I feed you with poison all the time. Imposter.
Has anybody seen that MSNBC anchor that like was freaking out? Have you seen that on YouTube? Like flipping out. Remember we've talked about that before, where it's like things are going crazy before you have to go on, and you're like, screw this, screw that, and then all of a sudden it's like 3, 2, 1. It's like, hello, welcome to Indie Music Live. What? No, it was on MSNBC. Just check it out. It's like on one of the new news bloopers things. Anyway, the producer got fired, just so you know, that released that video. But it's like, I don't know what made me think of that. Gravity Circus with Imposter in the Music Live. And we're just hanging out here with Ridley Victoria and David Hooter. So that song kind of reminded me of a little bit of an industrial flavor. Not really, but a little bit. And very, I don't know, it was kind of a full sound to me. It wasn't really, I need to hear some more music by these guys, I think.
It was a full sound?
I thought that was pretty full, yeah.
What? I have the opposite opinion.
It wasn't like, I mean,
I think it was kind of sparse, man. That's one of the points I want to make. Like, I was thinking, you remember the band Prodigy?
Yeah.
I think it was kind of like Prodigy, maybe. Like, I mean, they're like 15, 20 years back. I mean, it's just kind of like, the industrial, almost like, I don't know, kind of broken down sound. But this is, I never like caught the groove listening to this tune. It was kind of sparse. It was like I was waiting for it to complete and it almost never got there. But I feel like I kind of understood the groove they're going for. I like the name, like the cover art, nice voice, solid drums. I mean, it's like the drums are like front and center here. That snare hi-hat. It's almost like to me, it's almost like a jazz kind of, acid hangout type of thing where they're, these sparse vocals in the background. They're kind of playing with different instruments. And I don't know. It just kind of feels like an experiment to me that wasn't completed yet, but I like where it's going. It's kind of hard to explain. Ridley, what do you think?
First of all, David, get out of my head. Like, we're literally like in the same body today. It's really weird. What he said.
They recently mentioned something about moving to Atlanta too. I don't know what that was about, but
we're in talks. We've been texting between songs.
Who, you in Atlanta?
No, we're texting me and Ridley between songs. We're setting something up right now.
Interesting.
I'm like, you say this when you come back on.
Yeah. And I'll just say ditto. Yeah.
I don't have to say anything.
No, I mean, I'm shocked, Joe. It's like you're like, this is full sound. It's like
the drums. I mean, and overall the production was fine. I mean, I think for the budget it was full is what I meant. There you go.
Oh, that's the guy that freaked out. Okay. Yeah. Lawrence O'Donnell. He's pretty intense, man.
Oh, man, that's so funny. He's like, at one point he's like, and then it's like, hey, welcome back.
I've seen his show before. It's like he picks his point and he just fucking drives it, man. He just
check out that blooper. Yeah. It's great. It's awesome. It just came out a couple weeks ago. So all right, so let's go ahead and just move on. Yeah. We got a music. We have a video up next. Some comments. I don't know if I can read all the comments right now. Oh, yeah, that was a while ago. People liked your song, Ridley.
Thank you, everyone.
Dave needs to help out with the comment reading because I don't want to just interrupt him and read comments. You know what I mean? So, like, Dave, get on that.
I'll work on it.
Daniel Robinson, though, past recent featured artist, is here as well. He just walked in. I know that I saw a post that he took in a little vacation from Facebook, if you will. So it's good to have him.
Daniel, I got to tell you, man, I've been listening to your stuff on Spotify, and it's grown on me. More than it already grew on me, but it's increasing, man. Great stuff, dude.
He just came out with a new Tom Petty cover too, which I haven't got to check out, but looks like it'd probably be good, of course. So let's go ahead and move on to the next song. We got 2 more tonight. This is a video, actually, and while we're talking about videos, whatever you submit to us, we're going to play. It could be a portion of your song. It could be a portion of your video. If you put the YouTube video in the submit link, we will play the video instead of like a SoundCloud snippet or something like that. Speaking of which, you can submit your music at indiemusicplus.com. Go ahead and submit it there. And we are having 2 times the result promo on any promo campaign for the month of October, which basically means you order one of our social promo campaigns. Say for 7 days, you're going to get 14 days. If you order, a mastering package of a single, you're going to get 2 singles. You get the point. So this is the Drury Brothers with Day In, Day Out.
Fill me up, concrete shoes, loosen up, goodbye blue skies. See you on the other side. Hello moonlight, returning to a shifting time. Day in, day out, I've been getting ready for the night in, night out. Party dancing, drinking till we fade in, fade out. Wake up, do it all again. La 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 la, la la la.
That's the Drury Brothers with their song Day In, Day Out. I think they're from the UK, possibly. Has that sound, has that look, and I think that I don't know, I didn't really check too much, but the Drury Brothers. This seems like it's right up your alley. I like this. I like these guys.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Wow. That was fast. That seemed fast. I think we only played a small snippet of it, but yeah, I mean, videos, I think you pretty much got to do this right now. I mean, this is where we're at in the indie space. And the bands that are adding a video to their songs, I think are kind of rising above the crowd. And I think you got to do it because it's not expensive now. It's like this looked like a house party or a show, and they just had someone with a camera and they splice it together, and it's cool.
Yep.
And it kind of caught the vibe of what they were going for. Just this like friendly party type of high energy, good vibe type of band. And that's what they are. I mean, it was fun. I had references are, I don't know, there's a little Strokes and I don't know, maybe Panic at the Disco, going back to early 80s British Invasion a little in there. And it was, but I like his voice. I like the effect on the vocals. Kind of simple, but fun. And I liked it.
This is like half of what Ridley's new genre is going to be.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So did you think everything exactly what Dave was thinking, or you have any of your own thoughts tonight?
What I had for this one is that I feel like a lot of rock-based bands these days are not really like adapting with the times. I don't know if that makes sense or if I'm resonating with anyone with that. But like,
please expand.
I feel like there's I mean, rock is always going to be rock, like grunge, screamo, whatever branch of rock, it's always going to be rock. But I feel like a lot of bands miss the mark when they're trying to like relate to 2017 or 2016 or whatever year it is. Like, I feel like there could be like some sort of, I don't know, instrumental difference that could be implemented or something like that makes it like a little more modern. I don't know. Like, that's, I don't know. I just feel that way about a lot of rock music these days.
A lot of it's kind of cookie cutter, or like, rock is, like you said, rock is rock. And
yeah.
And it is. There's really not much you can do with rock, but it's like, there's so many different corners of rock at the same time.
I mean, this style of music, though. Yeah. Sorry, Joe.
No. Just this sort of vein is sort of overdone over the past 10, 15 years, though, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at like the melodies, like this. I didn't mind it. Like the solo, like the guitar solo was like super basic, but with this style of music, that's kind of what you hear. Like with the Strokes, when they had a solo, it was like man.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like,
but that's fine. It doesn't have to be virtuosic in like every time there's a solo. You know, it's not like the.
I don't really mean like the intricacy of like the solos and stuff like that. I'm more so mean like, I don't know. I just feel like there could be something like fresh, like implemented into today's rock. Like, I don't really know what it is that I'm like looking for, like specifically, but
so, pop music in general, if you know anything about like music theory and stuff, is generally 1 chord, 4 chord, and a 5 chord. And that's like rock, right? And the music in general, it depends. Like what makes it unique is the different ways you can do that, I guess, and make it unique. So rock, like a rock band, have a lot less to work with, I think.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a saying that goes on where it's like rock bands, they play 3 chords in front of 3,000 people, and jazz bands play 3,000 chords in front of 3 people.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah, it's
that's so accurate.
Cool. So we got one more tune tonight. I'm JoeJoeKeys hanging out. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Coming in, Carlos Phoenix, the star of Facebook Live. Just walking in. So what's up, dude? Haven't talked to you in a while. Good to see you. Daniel Robinson was here, and some other cool people that have been walking in and out. Well, you know, not walking really, but sort of coming in and out all night long. So we're here every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock Eastern time on Facebook Live. This week we're hanging out with Ridley Victoria, and I'm always here with my partner in crime, Mr. David Hooter. So we're going to listen to one more tune tonight, and this is a little bit of a jaunt. Not really the best recording ever. I'm not going to really like pre it too much, I guess, but give these guys a chance. This is a cool tune. It's called Operation Neptune Spear. Their song 1984.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and play that video from the beginning now.
Nations weak for the dawn, democracy's
I'm sitting here with Ridley the Poet and David the Big Hooter here on Indie Music Live, episode 94. That was 1984 by Operation Neptune Spear. Actually, Ridley, I misspoke earlier. This is your new kind of genre that you're going to infuse into your music, I think, to create a brand new.
Yes, definitely. You called me out. The secret's out of the bag.
Oh yeah, so like not everybody likes this kind of music. I always have a soft spot in my heart for this kind of music, and I thought the band was tight, and I enjoyed their performance. That's pretty much what I have to say about it, Dave. I know that you were just chomping at the bit,
stomping on that double bass pedal.
Tight, man.
Master.
Tight.
Yeah,
good.
Yes, tight. Yeah, and he proved he's tight. But this was like kind of 4-track garage type of mix totally. Here. And that's all right. I mean, you can kind of get the gist of what they're going through. Like, it was tight, but there was, in terms of engineering and like sound quality,
lots of hissing going on.
Yeah, it was kind of rough. But that's fine. I mean, that's I'm sure that's where they started, was playing in a garage or a practice space, and flipped on the recording and they sent it in and we chose it. So it means it's like we noticed the talent there, and it's yeah, I mean, there's it's impressive in that sense. It's like I don't know. I guess that's also the tips I would give, is just be more conscious of that. It's like going to the next step is like, man, you got to master this stuff. You got to spend a few bucks to just get it engineered well if you actually want to book a bunch of shows. I'm sure. I just have a feeling these guys already know this. If you have that talent, yeah.
Kind of what I liked about them is their sort of old school sound. It sounds like it was made in the 80s or 90s, and man, that's probably what they're going for, which is what it's pretty cool. I like going and listen to old stuff like that all the time. So
yeah, but I mean, they got talent, and I'm sure they know that they gotta like improve the quality of the recording. So I mean, I think that's just the message here. It's like, do they want to just start like touring and playing more shows? Because I'm sure they know they have to clean that up. If you're passing it out to venues and stuff, that's what they want to hear. They want to hear a more polished sound, because that's the representation of what they're going to be live. So yeah, Ridley.
Cool. So once again, David, I'm jumping through this phone and slapping you because you keep stealing my shine.
I feel like a third wheel, guys.
Oh, that's all right.
But something else I could say is the track was titled well. I literally felt like I was in 1984. Not like I was born in 1984, but if I was, that's probably how it would feel if I was listening to a rock song back then. But I don't know. This wasn't really my cup of tea. To be completely honest with you, I feel like the main reason being is what David just said. I'm a big stickler for quality, for sound quality. I think that's like super, super, super important. So when people show me, like, a lot of people ask me for my opinion for their songs on Facebook and stuff, and then when I go to their link and it's like an unfinished song, I'm immediately turned off. So that's just me.
Yeah, because it takes a rare person to kind of like really see past like a really low quality recording to like see the talent. It's like, okay, I see what you guys are going for, even though you spent like $50 on this like studio timer. I mean, it's pretty rare. It's like single digit percentage of people that are able to just look past all the like scratchy sounds and all the, just bad panning and bad engineering and stuff like that, and say, hey man, I see what you guys are doing. I see your talent. I'm going to go to all your shows and I want to like support you guys. So just,
but not everyone's going to do that.
Yeah, but that's the point.
Their sound was dated, overall. So
I know, but that's the point. If you can go into a mid-level recording studio where you're paying, I don't know, $20 an hour or something, and just spend like a couple $100 and get like 5 songs that are like 10 times better than what that sounded like, And and then you bring in this whole new population of people that are like, okay, all right, I see where you're going with this. That's pretty cool. And then they start coming to your shows and you start building your social following, and it's kind of this domino effect. And it all comes from just making a better recording. I mean, that's the way it works, really.
Yeah.
Cool. So, okay. So we're out of time for the night, but I want to thank Ridley the Poet, Ridley Victoria. You can find her, Ridley the Poet, on social media. Ridley, can you, do you have any final words that you'd like to say? Tell people where to find you one more time, what you're up to, where you're going.
You can find me on all social media at Ridley the Poet. SoundCloud is Ridley Victoria. Everything else is Ridley Victoria. And I'm not taking a break from music, just taking a break from Chicago. So expect more music from me very, very soon.
Cool. Well, we will.
Yeah,
we can't wait.
You can see more updates at invasionofthefruitflies.net. You can see behind the scenes. Behind the scenes footage of the whole move to Atlanta. Yeah.
So we'll be having Ridley on the show some more. I don't know, Ridley, I don't remember. Do we have another date booked for this year? I think one more possibly, but we're going to be definitely doing some more throughout 2018 as long as you're still up for it.
I think you had 2 more for me this year.
Okay,
one in November and one in December.
Sweet. So we'll be seeing Ridley a couple more times this year. So everybody that's been hanging out with us all night, thank you as always. I'm going to you know what, Dave? Why don't you do the outro tonight?
All right, everybody, here's the deal. We had a really good show tonight, and we're going to kind of exit out here nice and smooth. But we hope you come back next week because we got some great stuff for you. Really, really good stuff for you next week. Please come back. Thank you very much. Roll it out.